Welcome back to TMNtv News. I'm Liz Steck. The date is January 31st, 2022. While today was nice and sunny, winter weather will be coming our way. We have a winter front coming in tomorrow night, bringing mixes of rain and snow, continuing into Wednesday. In the Hayes area, we are expecting anywhere to 2 inches, while around the Wichita area is expecting 6 to 10 inches. We'll take a further look at this winter weather later on. Many people in Kansas got a jolt to start their week this morning. A 4.5 magnitude earthquake just northwest of Medford, Oklahoma, struck this morning. The quake was felt as far away as Hayes, with numerous reports of shocks felt around the Wichita area. The small town of Medford is located near the state line in north-central Oklahoma. After 27 years on the Supreme Court, Justice Stephen Breyer will retire. This leaves President Joe Biden to fill his position. Biden says that he is ready to appoint the first black female Supreme Court justice in place of Breyer. Biden promised this in his campaign for president and says he plans to keep his promise. The president will nominate a new judge by the end of February. As for campus news, last week, a U.S. News & World Report recognized FHSU as among the best in the nation in 6 different online education categories. Fort Hays State's online programs were among more than 1,700 programs reviewed by U.S. News. Heading that list in 2022 was FHSU's online Masters in Nursing program, which was ranked in the top 30, 29th among the top 179 schools ranked. To see the full list and where Fort Hays compares, visit usnews.com/online. The American Democracy Project is a group on campus that provides opportunities for civil discourse, education, and engagement. One way that they do this is through Times Talks. Times Talks are reoccurring, engaging events that feature presentations on various topics by guest speakers. The next Times Talks is taking place on February 8th in the Forsyth Library. Assistant Director of Fort Hays Online, Dr. Gregory Atkins, will be the speaker, and his presentation will be over the rise of the Libertarian Party. The event will start at noon with free pizza and salad being provided for the first 20 attendees. This week starts off warm, with highs today being in high 50s and getting colder throughout the week, with chances of snow and rain mix Tuesday night for turning into snow for Wednesday morning and night. Snow accumulation should be around 2 inches, and the high for Wednesday comes in at only 18 degrees, with the low being 5 degrees. On Thursday, it gets even colder, with the high being 17 and the low at 0 degrees. After Thursday, the weather starts looking up for the rest of the week, forecasted to be sunny with highs around the 40s. Sunday will be the warmest temperature we get this week after today. I suggest you go on a walk and enjoy the weather we are seeing today, because the rest of the week seems to be a lot of snow coats and hot cocoa. This weather report will change throughout the week, so stay up to date with kwch.com. When we come back, we'll go to Caden for sports.
My name is Allie, and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me on my show.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The average person uses around 100 gallons of water per day. With only 3% of the water on Earth being freshwater, it is important to be mindful of how much you are using. Turning off the sink while you are brushing your teeth is an easy way to conserve water. It is also important to never leave running water unattended. Replacing leaky faucets is another easy way to cut down on water usage. Also, adjusting the load size on your washing machine will ensure that water is not being wasted. Do your part to help conserve water.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Tiger Media Network is the independent student media organization here at Fort Hays State University. It encompasses audio, video, print, photography, digital news. There's a little bit of everything at TMN.
They offer so many different events, opportunities, just so many different things to go out and do and learn so that you can make a more compelling story and just help develop you as a storyteller.
I toured this facility and I saw this radio station in the TV studio, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely need to be a part of. Here, you know, I was instantly able to make my own content, being able to broadcast my own shows.
If you have a passion about sports or about news, it doesn't matter. You can come here and you can work from day one and get that experience that demonstrates your ability to be a professional in the media industry.
I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Hello Tigers, I'm Caden Sanders here to bring you your weekly sports update. The men's basketball team had 2 games this week, with one being a COVID makeup game. The Tigers traveled to Missouri Western to open up the week and were led by the 5th-year senior Jared Vitztum, who had multiple season highs in career 3-point shots made and 3 steals and minutes played in 40. Nige Wright, Bjorn Janssen, and Caleb Hammocky were also key contributors in double figures with 16, 15, and 13 points respectively as the Tigers beat the Griffins 76-71. The Tigers finished their road trip up in Nebraska-Kearney on Saturday. Caleb Hammocky led the team with 23 points, and Jared Vitztum and Nige Wright finished with 15 and 10 points. The Tigers cruised to an easy victory over the Lopers, 71-56. The Tigers are back on the road this week to take on Newman on Thursday and Central Oklahoma on Saturday. Turning to the women's team, the Tigers dipped in the latest rankings after losing to Missouri Southern at home. In the prior week, the Tigers and Lopers entered the week standing atop of the MIAA standings. With UNK already having a win over Fort Hays this season, the contest had huge implications in the MIAA postseason and in the Central region for hosting rights come March. The Tigers were the hot offensive team to start, getting easy transition threes, but the Lopers came back firing and carried a double-digit lead for most of the game until the Tigers rallied. Fort Hays had 25 and 22 points in the final 2 quarters to complete the comeback 76-63. The Tigers' defense progressively got better as the game went along, allowing 24 points in the second half. The wrestling team traveled to Wichita this past weekend to take on the 24th-ranked Newman Jets in an MIAA duel. The Tigers won 24-21 with the help of 4 forfeits at the weight classes of 133, 141, 184, and 285. The Tigers are back at home this Saturday to take on the nation's best in Central Oklahoma. The track team competed in the Washburn Open on Friday and Saturday, also participating in the UNK Charlie Foster Classic. At Washburn, Lyric Holman placed first in the 60-meter dash. Maddie Rossi finished in second place in the 60-meter hurdles, and the big news coming out of the day is the 4x400 team finishing a time of 3 minutes and 51 seconds. The team made up of Holman, Chloe Stanley, Rossi, and Taylor Savolt notched the 6th best time nationally this season. In Kearney, Ethan Lang had a first-place finish in 600-meter dash. Kendrick Clary topped the field in the 400-meter dash, with Carson Pierce winning the 1,000-meter run with the time of 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Xavier Robinson hit a personal best in the long jump at 23.8 feet, and Ryan Stanley finished in first for his 3rd meet in a row in the pole vault. The track team will be back in action at the Herm Wilson Invitational at Wichita State on Friday and Saturday. And finally, the spring is coming as the Tiger baseball and softball teams learned about their preseason polls for the MIAA. The baseball team was 10th in the conference and opens up the season in Golden, Colorado to take on Colorado School of Mines for a 4-game stretch through the weekend. The softball team was dubbed 8th in the conference preseason poll and will have a doubleheader against MSU Denver on Saturday and then round out the weekend with a doubleheader against Regis on Sunday. Ethan Boo has a look at the preseason practices the baseball team went through to help prepare them for the upcoming season.
So it's always fun to see guys compete at different sports. It's a good way to kind of kick off the spring semester. You can learn a lot from guys from a mental standpoint and just see how they handle the ups and downs and just see how they compete.
The week coming back, I think it's important just to get people competing and stuff like that, and then it brings us a lot closer doing different activities.
I think especially like being gone a month and being the first time we all get together, just kind of like brewing that competitiveness again and getting us all back into the groove. It's hard to kind of hit practice, full speed right away. So, those long days being like broken up into like, fun stuff that's, with your boys, with the team. I think it's actually pretty crucial to having a good team, camaraderie.
I actually thought the football, the way we did it this year with the throwing for accuracy, and the punts in the corners, I thought that was really fun.
Two. So we did throwing, punting, and kicking. So the kicking was you had to make 2 out of the 3 kicks after one warm-up from the 10, and then you move back to the 20 and it's 2 out of 3. And then you just keep going back from there basically, and each time you make a kick is points for your team. The throwing was 3 throws, 10 yards, 20 yards, and 30 yards. And you got a point pretty much for every throw you hit, and then the more you move back, the more points you get. And then the punting was 4 punts inside the 5. Closer you are to the 1 yard line, the more points you get.
I think the basketball one is always really fun. It's because, it's not at the indoor, it's like a completely separate thing. We all get to wear our jerseys. We do the free throws first. Everybody's split up. I think we had like 6 hoops. You shoot 10 free throws each. And ended up working out that everybody who made either 9 or 10 moved on to the final round, and all of them shot 10. After that, we did knockout.
Give me a black team between Inns and Jackson.
I'd prefer a gold team. Do we have a gold team person?
I think it was the last 2 or 3 from each group. They were able to move on to like the big knockout game.
I like to get the guys working together in teams to where they got a plan, at the beginning of the week for their videos.
So for the video, Goody just kind of picks a prompt every year. This year it was NFL post-game interviews with the playoffs coming up. So he kind of gives some ground rules, like it's got to be 5 minutes and got to have like X amount of people participating. But other than that, it's just kind of completely in our hands to, see whatever we do with it.
Mike, can you comment on how far Tom Brady can throw the ball?
No comment. Thank you.
Even though it's not like technically a competition day, everyone always loves when we're all watching the videos, They're kind of hard to work on, but like when you're seeing everybody's videos and everyone's laughing, it's a good time.
You can tell a lot by guys, especially when they're not good at something, and just how well they can find a way, or they can just shy away from it. So you can learn a lot. It's a good psychological thing, I think. It's fun, the guys can laugh at each other, but they can also compete. Just getting them around together, the more we can be together going into the season or leading up to the season, it pays dividends from a team standpoint, and having some fun with it too. I think it's just a good way to kick off the year.
And finally, the women's soccer team is looking to find their next head coach, as Blake Reynolds is leaving the program. Reynolds coached the Tigers for 4 seasons, with one being a COVID year, and during that span recorded a 39, 27, and 11 record. Reynolds has been a collegiate head coach for more than 12 years. Our own Reagan Neufeld talked to Coach Reynolds about his career.
I'm thankful to the Hayes community and the university itself. It was such a fun 5 years to be a part of it. It's such a, how do I say, it was probably the most special. I've worked at like 6 universities, and this was like the best place in terms of just like the atmosphere. Like it was just a really cool place. And I'm going to miss all the people here, and I'm thankful for the relationships that I had and all of that stuff. So I'll certainly miss it.
You can read the full interview with Coach Reynolds on TigerMediaNet.com. And that's all the sports we have for this week. Check back for more next week when we break down more Tiger athletics. We will be back after the break to bring you more campus news.
My name is Allie, and I'm a senior business major at Fort Hays. I love working for TMN. It has made me a more experienced photographer and really helped me professionally due to all the changing environments and the different opportunities. I've also been able to meet and talk to a lot of people, which has helped bring me on my show.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The average person uses around 100 gallons of water per day. With only 3% of the water on Earth being freshwater, it is important to be mindful of how much you are using. Turning off the sink while you are brushing your teeth is an easy way to conserve water. It is also important to never leave running water unattended. Replacing leaky faucets is another easy way to cut down on water usage. Also, adjusting the load size on your washing machine will ensure that water is not being wasted. Do your part to help conserve water.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Tiger Media Network is the independent student media organization here at Fort Hays State University. It encompasses audio, video, print, photography, digital news. There's a little bit of everything at TMN.
They offer so many different events, opportunities, just so many different things to go out and do and learn so that you can make a more compelling story and just help develop you as a storyteller.
I toured this facility and I saw this radio station and then the TV studio, and I was like, yeah, this is something that I definitely need to be a part of. Here, I was instantly able to make my own content, being able to broadcast my own shows.
If you have a passion about sports or about news, it doesn't matter. You can come here and you can work from day one and get that experience that demonstrates your ability to be a professional in the media industry.
I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
The esports team at Fort Hays has been hosting in-person tournament for 5 years and just 2 years ago formed a varsity team. The team just recently kicked off the League of Legends seasons by playing the University of Kansas on January 22nd and Dakota State University on the 29th. Here is the director of esports at Fort Hays, Kevin Schaefer, with some information on the rest of the season.
Going forward. So we've got 5 more weeks of gameplay, and the games are all, well, we'll call them a match. There's actually best of 3 gameplay, so they'll play a best of 3 match, and that'll be 2 to 3 games. We'll start off playing very high level teams the way it's organized, and so we'll be significant underdogs in the first maybe week or 2. After that, we'll kind of settle into a range where we're playing teams at our own level. And we don't know who we're playing next week until all the games for this round are played.
To finish up, here's a quick look at some events on campus and in the community. Tomorrow, February 1st, marks the beginning of Lunar New Year, also known as Spring Festival. Lunar New Year is a celebration that originated in Asia and begins on the first moon of the Lunar New Year. Traditions include house cleaning to ward off last year's evil spirits, offering food and gifts to ancestors, and red decorations. A Lunar New Year celebration will be taking place on February 4th in the Memorial Union Ballroom. Participants can expect snacks, crafts, activities, and more from 6 to 8 p.m. Night to Shine is an annual event for people of the intellectual developmental disabilities community that takes place in communities across the country. It is sponsored nationally by the Tim Tebow Foundation. Here in Hays, the local Night to Shine Leadership Board is in charge of planning the event. This year, it took place on Saturday, the 29th. TMN's Alicia Fireherm was there and has the story.
Lining Main Street, community members of all ages came out to support the Night to Shine parade on January 29th. The event is typically an in-person prom event, but has been moved to parade format the past 2 years due to COVID concerns. I sat down with several members from the leadership board to discuss the parade.
Each year is kind of different. Obviously, this year was different than most past years have been. This year, since we did the parade, it's a little bit more planning around the weather, planning around getting more of the community involved.
The organization incorporated many different groups in the community, including the TMP and Hayside cheerleaders and Fort Hays athletes.
Who I contacted, who I wanted to get people out in the streets with, was the football team. I'm actually a football player for Fort Hays University, and I wanted to make sure my teammates were able to come out and kind of support the IDD community. And so I sent out a text, and I've also been contacting different businesses just around town and just trying to get them to allow us to advertise. That way we could get as many people as we did today to come out and support. You could tell it today, especially with the event. They all came out to support, and even people that didn't really know what was going on, they lined Main Street and they were waving at everybody. They were waving at the people in the parade, and it was just an overall well turned out event, and we loved everyone, and we were grateful that everyone could come out and support.
The Night to Shine parade has once again proved successful, and the leadership team thanks the community for their continued support. For Tiger Media Network, I'm Alicia Fireherm.
Looks like that wraps up this week's newscast. For more content, please go to tigermedianet.com, as well as our Facebook and YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. I'm Liz Steck, and I'll see you next time.